Now, speaking of explosive interviews, we got to go to Tom Matlack. He's with the Good Men Project. The book is The Good Men Project, Real Stories from the Front Lines of Modern Manhood. Yes, it is a little different for us, but why not? Let's have some fun. Tom, welcome to the Young Turks.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be on.
It's great to have you. All right, so tell us what the book is about first.
Yeah, well, it's actually a four-part project. We have a book about being a good father, good husband, good worker, good son, good man, which is 31 stories of men all walks of life, and 10 of those guys are in a documentary film, which we actually just premiered here in Hollywood last night with Matt Weiner and Shep Ferry on a panel. We're having events all across the country, and then we have a national discussion happening at goodmenproject.org, where we have all kinds of good stuff, blogs, etc.
All right, so what is it? How do I know what's a good man? What are you guys pushing here?
Well, hey, you got to figure that out for yourself, man. The whole idea is that we as men don't really like to talk about this stuff. We don't want to end up on Oprah's couch crying our eyes out, but we like to tell stories and we like to hear stories. And in that storytelling, for years and decades, men have helped each other figure out what it means to be a good man. And so, for me, it means, I have a beautiful wife. It means loving my wife passionately. I have 3 beautiful children. It means taking care of my kids the best way that I know how and trying to do something good for somebody other than myself. That's how I define it. But our hope is that the men in our book and in our film are inspiring. They inspire me. That's why I wrote the book. And that the viewer or the reader can read those stories and figure out what they relate to and what's important to them. What we have kind of hit on is that men all across the country are waking up, looking in the mirror and saying, oh, my God, the life that I thought I was leading, what I thought was important, no longer is. And that's largely due to the recession. Men are obviously had identified themselves with their jobs. Many of those jobs are gone, and they're worried about them. But it also has to do with, what's being expected of us as fathers and as husbands. We're supposed to be, more active, more involved. And so, we have to figure all this out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It feels a little touchy-feely to me because, when you get into things like this, usually, and you tell me, of course, if this is different, there's a lot of talk about how a good man provides and this and that, but a good man doesn't really have fun. But I think, why not? If you're a single man, I think part of being a good man is getting laid a lot. What do you think about that?
Sure, why not? I got nothing against that. We had actually one of our essays is by this guy, Jesse Kornbluth. It's called Sex and Drugs Made Me a Man. And his basic theory is exactly that, which is that he learned how to be a good man by having a good time, by taking drugs and getting laid. And,
all right, now, wait a minute. Okay, now all of a sudden I'm on board. Now we're having fun. All right.
Well, that's the whole thing. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to tell you what it means for you. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying it's an important issue. I mean, we got guys in Iraq who've been fighting there for 8 years. We got guys laid off in GM. We've got, guys more than ever in prison. So we have guys who are hurting all over this country, and they're asking themselves this question. And my point is, I'm not going to give you the answer. If you think taking drugs and getting laid is the answer, God bless you. That's great. But I would just say, think about it. That's all.
No, I hear you. And look, I think the bottom line on it, from my perspective, is responsibility, right? So if you're, as I told you, I think getting laid is great, and I don't know about the drugs part, but hey, to each his own, etc. But at the end of the day, you got to provide for yourself, and if you have a family, you got to provide for your family, and and that's part and parcel of being a strong man, right? Is the issue here that you think that we're slipping away from that we're not doing that as much in this country? Is that why we need the Good Men Project?
Well, I think what it is that we have more and more men who have an inability to tell the truth about themselves. And so in our society, we as men compartmentalize, so we like to kind of keep everything separate, and we like to not really talk that much about what's really going on. And so you see, Tiger Woods, you see John Edwards, Madoff, et cetera, Letterman, et cetera, et cetera. You see case after case of men who are enormously successful in their public lives and fall down in their private lives. And so our only point is, the kind of common theme between all these guys in our book who are from all walks of life, black, white, rich, poor, from the city, from Butte, Montana, all kinds of circumstances. But the common thread is that these are guys getting brutally honest. They're actually talking about what the hell's going on and trying to figure it out, not hiding. I think that's the issue for us, I think, as men, is that, you know, many of us are in a tough circumstance, and we're finally kind of waking up and saying, you know, I actually got to try and figure out what the truth is of my life and try and figure out, you know, how to come to a definition of manhood and fatherhood and husbandhood that actually works together. We had one blogger who actually, you know, put it as living a life of congruence, meaning that you're the same person at work as you are at home with your wife and with your kids. And, you know, if that person is somebody who likes to get laid a lot and do drugs, that's fine, but let's not be dishonest about it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, the flip side, and last thought here, Tom, is that, look, you know, in the old days, Alexander conquers half the world, and while he does, he has sex with everything in his path, apparently girls and guys. You know, the Genghis Khan, same thing. I believe I saw an amazing study where 1% of all people in Asia have, in the world, have Genghis Khan's genes. Okay, which is unreal, right? Attila the Hun, and it goes on and on. I mean, you could go to Attila the Hun and be saying, you know what, you're a little unfaithful to your wife, so you're not really a man. You see what I'm saying? That I get that. That makes me a little uncomfortable. I get it. I get it. We want, of course, people to be honest, and we want them to be faithful, etc. But is that really an unmanly thing to do? I'm not sure.
Well, I guess I would say, you know, the title of our project is the Good Men Project, and so, you know, I think I think most men aspire to some level of goodness, and, you know, again, I think it's self-defined, but I do think that, you know, cheating and lying generally isn't part of being good.
Okay, fair enough. It's not the Men Project; it's the Good Men Project. So
exactly.
There you have it. All right, everybody can go to goodmenproject.org to see the 31 stories, the book, everything else that's involved in it. Tom Matlack, thank you so much for joining us on the Young Turks. Really appreciate it.
Oh, that was great. Great. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, thank you.